Welcome. You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed 5-minute podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now stay tuned for your host, Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on my podcast. It is a pleasure to be here with you guys. I appreciate you greatly. And I just want to say thank you. I thank you. And I'm so grateful that you guys give me at least a little bit of your time daily just to, hear my heart concerning the things of God and just, anything that could possibly inspire you or just make you feel better about the trajectory of your life as it is right now. So with that, I have been going through some emails I mentioned earlier this week on the podcast. And, I was coming across some stuff in an old account, and it was just amazing because there were so many inspiring stories that I had in this account. I mean, y'all, upwards of 15 years ago, there were so many things that I had found. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, like, wow, I haven't been in this account in probably 6 years. So there were so many things that were there that I used to email to people and send out, and I didn't even realize that I had those things. And so I thought about it and I said, you know what, it might be a good idea to maybe share some of this information because I think it would be pertinent. I think it would be helpful and inspiring for someone even today. And that's what I love about inspiring people, because it just never gets old. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just never hurts to consistently at least try to be nice to people and to at least try to do things of good report and things that would actually make you, feel better, make you feel excited about your life. You know what I'm saying? So when I came across it, I said, man, you know what? Let me go in and look at some of this information just to see what I could find, because I know that there was a wealth of information. And y'all, I actually forgot. I used to send out daily motivational emails. I would take my time and write them. And the time has been so long ago, and I switched email addresses that I completely forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. And I said, you know what, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring some of this stuff back out, because I feel like when it's God, when the timing is right, if it's for you, it's for you, and it'll still carry weight. And perhaps someone who didn't hear it 6 or 7, in some cases 10 and 12 years ago, is going to be valid for someone right now who is at this place in their lives, and they really need to hear something of value. So one of the things that I wrote about one day, I called it learning. Okay. And I guess it was based off of a quote that I had written on Facebook. And the quote said, sometimes the hardest thing in the world is to say no, even at the risk of being misunderstood. Sometimes the hardest thing in the world is to be a helper and your help is not needed, wanted, or abused. Sometimes the hardest thing in the world is to have your words completely fabricated and twisted and you cannot defend yourself. I'm just an imperfect person and I didn't sign up for this. I don't know what happened, to me that day, but I went on to write that it was all about learning, and the definition of learning is the acquisition of knowledge or skills through experience, practice, or study, or by being taught, and I learned, guys, that it was important to stay focused on God, because when you don't, everything can run amok. And I mean everything. And I'm like, wow, I wrote this so many years ago and it is still important. It is still valid now. I've even learned that my ignorance, that being ill prepared for the battles will inevitably leave me doomed. I will always lose the war when I am ignorant. Ignorance is lack of knowledge, is lack of information. So Satan loves when we don't read the word. He loves when we do not engage the Father, because he knows that he can use that against us. He knows that he can play on our ignorance and he can send attacks and do things. And because we're not connected, we're not really engaged in that relationship like we would a romantic relationship or a best friendship. We don't give God that kind of time. So you learn the hard way, just being naive. That, the enemy will take that and he will abuse the situation that you're in. Now, the funny thing is that, when it deals with God, everything is fixable. And even if things happen that you can't change and you cannot stop the situation, when you give God control, you have to allow him to do what he's going to do. And I'm going to tell you, people don't always like what we do. They won't always like us. Everybody don't like me, and I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even think it's designed like that I think in general, we are supposed to just have the love of the Lord toward people. And, some people rock and some people don't. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but I think we should all at least strive and try to have a good heart toward people. And that's even, that's difficult for me sometimes because everybody does not float my boat, just like I don't float theirs. But I just want to encourage you guys, even when you feel like that, that's okay. That's normal. Everybody it's just not kumbaya all the time. And I really found this email very telling, because, I learned that through education, that the more I take time to learn, the better my chances are to survive these situations. Just constantly educating myself. And I used to be that person where I always wanted to just constantly read everything and, all of these things. And listen, I'm going to be honest, I'm still like that. But now I have more of that passion to learn more from God. And I want to do more of what he's telling me to do as opposed to doing it the other way. And that has really been standing out to me. So with that being said, guys, I've learned that through wearing my feelings on my sleeve, they simply don't belong there. It's just like when people talk about being in your feelings. And by the way, guys, next Monday starts the healing experience for the month of March, and it is on childhood. We're doing a whole 5-day special talk on childhood and how we can heal from the things in our childhood. So make sure you check that out if you get a moment. Or that'll start Monday on, I believe, the 19th, and it'll go on through the 23rd. So, but that was a sidebar. But yeah, you just learn that your feelings belong like in the healing experience. Your feelings belong in the place where you're at a time to really work out your emotions and emote properly, right? The reason why they're like that is because God has set your emotions and feelings aside for a reason. A lot of times in this generation, people drag for that. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to think about that. They don't want to be about that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I realized, like my sleeves, the only thing that belongs on my sleeves is just the material. That's it. My feelings don't belong there, and you learn over time. You have to learn how to protect yourself. You have to learn how to take what it is you're going through and find a way to put it where it belongs. Sadly, this generation tells you throw out your feelings, don't care, don't be in your feelings, like real kind of stupid with it. Like, oh, don't do this. That is asinine because you are supposed to feel your feelings. You're supposed to go through things. So I don't think it's wise to act like they don't exist, but I think it's wise not to put them in a place where they don't belong, which is on your sleeve, which is in the middle of something when you need to focus and you're getting in your feelings. Like, we have to learn how to balance those things, but also appreciate through learning that God sets all that stuff aside for us to really, really get the best out of what he has for us. And we have to take that and we have to appreciate it. Right. I also learned, lastly, that you could actually rise above everything. And this is the truth. It's easy to say, it's harder to walk out. But listen, you can literally rise above everything that's sent to destroy you. You can use it to make you better. You can inspire yourself and others. You can encourage yourself like David did and others. And you can find an excitement for your life. You can find a love for your life and a deeper, more fulfilling relationship with God because you are doing what you need to do to learn from the things that are being tossed at you in your life. And yeah, it can be painful, y'all. I'm not trying to create some roses and all of this stuff. No, it can be painful. But let me tell you something about the pain. It can also be lovely and it can be drawn out at times, but it'll be worth it. So I just want to encourage you guys today about learning. Continue to learn in life. Continue to be open, right? And remember, no matter where you are today, trust God and knowing that in the lesson lies the blessing and that he will not forsake you. I encourage you, y'all, just let go of everything and everyone and allow God to place them where they belong. You will find that through learning, you become better and you get closer to the vision and purpose that God has for your life. I'm wired to inspire. I hope you are too.
It's the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast giveaway. Stay tuned for instructions.
Hey everyone, and these are your instructions for the March giveaway on the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast. Now, guys, I'm going to be giving away 5 books this month. I have the Healing Experience Workbook, and with that, you'll get all of the episodes. So far, we're 10 episodes in of the podcast to go with the actual workbook, and you'll be able to get free access to our private Facebook group, and you get an instructional recording. So I will be giving away one of those every week of March. So the instructions are extremely simple, and all you have to do is simply tag a friend that inspires you for a chance to win a copy of the Healing Experience Workbook. A copy will be given out every week in March, and you must be following at robinicolek and I'm Wired to Inspire for your entry to be valid. And that's it, guys. Good luck.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to the inspirationspecialist.life or I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again, and see you next time.